The wedding I never wanted. Part 1, A Perfect Lie. The wind tangled Lucia's veil as she stood at the altar, but it wasn't the breeze that made her hands shake. It was his eyes. Daniel. Her fiancé. The man she thought she loved. The man who now stood opposite her, smiling like a man certain of the future. But Lucia wasn't sure of anything anymore. She'd found the letter just hours before the ceremony, tucked under a stack of old receipts in his drawer. It wasn't addressed to her. It wasn't meant to be found. You make me feel alive in a way she never could. I don't know how much longer I can keep pretending. After the wedding, maybe we can talk. Lucia read it 3 times before the words finally shattered. The date was from 2 weeks ago. The handwriting wasn't his, but the words were about her. And they were written by someone named Tessa. She could have called it off. Could have stormed out, screamed, confronted him in front of the guests. But she didn't. Because she needed to know how deep the lie ran. As she stood there, clutching the bouquet, Lucia realized something chilling. This wasn't her wedding day. This was her investigation. The priest began to speak, but the world sounded underwater. Lucia nodded. She smiled. She said, "I do." But inside, her heart whispered, "This is not over." The honeymoon wasn't in Paris. It wasn't on the Amalfi Coast. Daniel said they needed quiet after the stress of the wedding, so they booked a secluded villa on the cliffs of Madeira. Just the two of them, and his lies. Lucia played the part of the happy bride well. Smiling for photos. Posting cute captions. Laughing at his jokes. Kissing him goodnight. But at night, while he slept, she searched. She dug through his phone, checking for deleted texts, hidden albums, cloud backups. He was careful, but not careful enough. There was a folder in his notes app called Grocery Lists. Only, inside it wasn't lists of bread and coffee. It was coded messages. Snapshots of poems. Lyrics. Phrases she didn't recognize, until one reappeared multiple times. "You are silence like a crown. You always taste like guilt. You said it was just a kiss." Lucia knew this wasn't for her. Daniel never wrote poetry. He barely wrote anything at all, except lies. The next morning, she cooked him breakfast, laughing as he kissed her neck, her mind racing. "Who is she?" she asked playfully. "Who?" He blinked, toast halfway to his mouth. "Tessa." She tilted her head. "The girl from the letter in your drawer." Silence. That word again, silence. His jaw tightened. "Lucia. I can explain." "Good," she said softly, sitting across from him. "Because you have exactly 5 minutes." He didn't beg. He didn't deny. He simply told the truth, or his version of it. "I met her during a bachelor party in Lisbon. It was a one-night thing, or so I thought. We kept in touch. I didn't mean to fall for her. But I also didn't want to lose you." "So you kept both?" Lucia asked. He didn't answer. And that was all she needed to know. That night, while he slept in their king-size bed, she quietly packed her bag. She didn't leave just yet. Not because she forgave him, but because she was planning something bigger than an exit. Part 3, The Exit That Echoed. Lucia returned home from the honeymoon with more than a suitcase. She brought back clarity. And a plan. Over the following weeks, she acted like everything was fine. Smiled at brunches. Held his hand in public. Posted photos with captions like #newlyweds4ever. But behind the curtain, she was gathering proof. Emails. Screenshots. Conversations. Every lie he thought was buried, she was digging up with precision. Her lawyer called it meticulous. Her therapist called it controlled rage. Lucia called it justice. When she finally confronted Daniel, it wasn't with screams or tears. It was with a manila folder. Inside, everything. You broke our vows before we even made them, she said calmly. And now, I'm breaking this marriage. Daniel didn't cry. He didn't chase. He just sat there, staring at the evidence of his own undoing, realizing she wasn't the broken one. She was the storm. The divorce was quick, no fault, uncontested. But the story didn't end there. Lucia published an anonymous essay, "The Wedding I Never Wanted." It went viral. Thousands of women wrote to her. Some had left. Some were still trapped. All of them needed the reminder. You can love deeply and still walk away. You can forgive without forgetting. And you can rebuild your life, stronger, wiser, and free. Lucia never saw Daniel again. But she saw herself clearly now, for the first time in years. And that was the real love story.